Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be talking about Black Bag. This movie is out in theaters this weekend, starring Michael Fassbender and Cate Blanchett, directed by Steven Soderbergh. So definitely was excited to check this one out for a number of reasons. One being like the director, he's directed all the Ocean's movies, he's got a pretty impressive resume, also directed Presence, which came out not too long ago, I'll link that review below, but also the cast as well. I was very impressed with the cast and just the general premise of this story. So this movie follows two people that work for the same intelligence agency, so they're somewhat like spies, secret agents, but they're also kind of, legendary. They have been around for a long time, and they are put in a position where Michael Fassbender's character is given a list of names of people who may have stolen a particular piece of hardware in which his wife's name is on there. So he's trying to figure out where her loyalty lies, and that's such a big piece of the plot of this movie is loyalty. Is it within their marriage? Is it within their nation? Just trying to uncover that and understand what the truth is. And that's where we get into is this is not your typical mystery spy thriller movie where you have various action sequences with a lot of shootouts and things like that. There is a little bit of action in here, but this is really built around our core characters and the dialogue between them, because it's really this game of, it's not so much a cat and mouse style game, it's really kind of a truth game, I guess. Not really truth or dare, but really like who's telling the truth, who's lying. And that's part of Michael Fassbender's character. Really fascinating, because his strength is knowing how to read the room, how to ask specific questions to figure out like what information is needed out of people. And this group of characters that we get is quite fascinating, because the other side of this is just general relationships, because all of these people work for the same agency, whereas we have two that are married, and they're kind of like this staple couple with all of these people, because in a sense they work together. I don't know if you would call them friends, but they spend a lot of time together, and so relationships is a big factor, and that goes into a lot of the questions that Fassbender's character asks, because he will ask the basic questions, but he will get into some intimate things, and I think that's really to pull the vulnerability out of people, to really see like, are they, what would they tell the truth about, what would they lie about. And that's really the core of this story. It's like we're following these characters as we're kind of uncovering of like what this piece of hardware is, who knows what it is, what it's there for, and what the repercussions are, because we're kind of told at the beginning, like, if this gets in the wrong hands, it has the capability of not killing thousands and thousands of people. And so that kind of puts the heightened alert of like, okay, like give me a week and I'll go figure this out, and we'll take care of it. And even within that, there are such little things dropped throughout this movie that kind of give you some depth to these characters, especially the main two characters that we follow that are married, because they do put loyalty a lot within these two of what would they do for one another, would they lie to one another, what's the limit there, and I found that quite fascinating. But this movie is predictable. I was able to pretty much call the shots like right at the first dinner scene, and this is an hour and 30-minute runtime, so it's a 90-minute watch. It's pretty easy watch. Like you can follow along pretty well, but I do think that kind of predictability kind of hinders it. But all in all, like, it actually is a pretty good movie. I found the ending to be quite satisfying. I thought all of the performances were pretty solid. Just the whole look and feel of the movie, especially if you've watched many of Soderbergh's films, especially the Ocean's movies, like this has a kind of look and feel that is like a staple to him. So it's one that like, it's a slower paced movie because you're focused a lot more on the dialogue between these characters, but I found it very interesting and entertaining. And again, like just the chemistry between them, just the general feel of the movie. And I love like these spy style movies, especially when you're kind of like inside the organization and really seeing like what their skill sets are and like, what they can do to kind of like get the truth out of people. Like really, really fascinating. So Black Bag, all in all, I found this to be quite an enjoyable watch. Yes, it's predictable, but I think everything around that adds to this. So if you're into the slower paced dialogue driven movies that really go into the characters and the depth around them and the details and just look for these little clues throughout the movie, I think many people will watch this. This is definitely one that I'll go back and watch again. If you saw Black Bag, what did you think of it? Let me know in the comments below. In terms of like Soderbergh's, you know, he's got so many movies. What are some of your favorites? Would love to chat about that in the comments below. Thanks so much for stopping by. Be sure to like and subscribe. As always, it helps out the channel. I'll be back again real soon with more reviews. See you soon.